My beloved child, pause and listen to me. You have spent too much time believing names that I never gave you. Failure, burden, mistake, forgotten, too late, not enough. Those words may have been spoken by people, repeated by circumstances, or whispered by your own tired mind, but they did not come from me. I did not create you to live beneath the weight of labels that were born from pain. Before anyone formed an opinion about you, I already knew you. Before anyone applauded you or rejected you, I had already chosen to love you. Before you proved anything, achieved anything, or understood anything, your life mattered to me. You were not placed here by accident. Your existence is not random. There is intention in your breath, purpose in your story, and meaning in the days ahead. Look at your hands for a moment. Think about everything they have carried, the work they have done, the tears they have wiped away, the people they have helped. Those hands may feel ordinary to you, but I see the history written in them. I see every quiet act of courage. I see every time you kept going when no one knew how tired you were. My beloved child, the world has trained you to measure your worth with numbers, income, followers, achievements, approval. It tells you that you are valuable when people notice you, and forgettable when they do not. It tells you that success is proof of importance and struggle is proof of failure. But the world keeps changing its standards because it does not know how to recognize what is eternal. Your worth is not a prize handed to you after a perfect performance. It is not something another person can give you or take away. It is not increased when someone stays and reduced when someone leaves. Your value began in my heart. It was established before your first mistake, and it remains after every failure. I called you mine before you knew how to call my name. Remember the shepherd who left the many to search for the one that wandered. That is how personally I see you. You are never just part of a crowd to me. When your heart drifts, I notice. When you feel lost, I come near. When you sit in silence and wonder whether anyone understands, I am already there. I do not love you as a number. I love you as my beloved child. You have apologized for taking up space. You have entered rooms with your confidence folded inward because someone once made you feel unwelcome. You have made yourself smaller so others would not feel threatened. You have hidden your voice because you feared being judged. You have accepted less than kindness because you believed asking for respect was asking for too much. Today I want you to stop shrinking, not with arrogance, not with pride, not by proving that you are better than anyone else. I am calling you into a quiet confidence that does not need to compete, the kind that comes from knowing who walks with you. You do not need to dominate a room to carry my presence into it. You do not need to speak loudly to live with authority. A steady heart can be stronger than a raised voice. Wherever I have placed you, there is purpose, in your family, in your workplace, in the season that feels slower than you expected, even where you are learning and healing. You may not understand why, but I have not lost sight of you. I can use your patience in a difficult home. I can use your integrity in a dishonest environment. I can use your kindness in a place that has forgotten gentleness. Do not confuse being unseen by people with being unseen by me. Important work is happening where no one claps. Character grows in private. Faith becomes strong in ordinary days. Compassion is formed when you remember what pain felt like. The hidden season is not an empty season. Roots are deepening beneath the ground. My beloved child, I also know the voice that rises inside you. After disappointment, it tells you that you are damaged beyond repair. It reminds you of the decisions you regret. It points to the doors that closed and says they closed because you were unworthy. It gathers every painful memory and presents it as evidence against your future. That voice is not telling you the truth. You are not the worst thing you have done. You are not the cruelest thing someone has said about you. You are not the season that broke your confidence. You are not the relationship that ended. You are not the opportunity you missed. You are a life still being shaped by grace. When Peter failed in the hour he thought he would be strongest, I did not throw him away. I met him again. I restored him with patience. I gave him responsibility after regret. Let that remind you that failure does not cancel calling. Your weakness does not frighten me. Your honesty gives me room to rebuild what shame tried to destroy. So speak differently over yourself today. Say, I am loved before I perform. I am forgiven while I am still growing. I am guided even when the road is unclear. I belong to God, and I will not surrender my identity to fear. Say those words slowly. Let them move beyond your lips and settle into the places that have been bruised by rejection. You may not feel their full truth immediately. That is all right. Healing often begins before emotion catches up. Continue speaking what is true until your heart learns a new language. Lift your head, my beloved child. Breathe without apologizing for being alive. Walk into this day knowing that you are accompanied. You carry my love into every conversation, every responsibility, and every unknown moment. You are not walking alone, and you are not walking without purpose. There will still be people who misunderstand you. There will still be days when confidence feels distant. But you no longer have to build your identity on unstable ground. Build it here in my love. My love does not rise and fall with your performance. It does not disappear when you struggle. It remains. Remember who you are in me. You are known. You are wanted. You are being restored. You are still becoming even right now. And no opinion, failure, delay, or rejection has the authority to erase what I have spoken over your life. My beloved child, as you remember who you are in me, understand what that identity must produce in your daily life. It must teach you to remain faithful when nothing seems to change and steady your hands when the work feels slow. Belonging to me is meant to comfort you and help you continue. I see the seeds you have been planting. I see the prayers whispered when everyone else was asleep. I see the patience shown to people who never noticed its cost. I see the honest work completed when shortcuts were easier. I see the kindness you offered while tired. I see when you chose peace instead of argument, restraint instead of revenge, and obedience instead of convenience. You may think those moments disappeared because no one praised them. They did not disappear. Nothing planted in faith is invisible to me. The world celebrates harvest and ignores planting. People admire the finished home, but not the years of saving and beginning again. They applaud the strong family, but miss the quiet apologies and repeated decisions to love. They notice success, but rarely see the discouraged mornings behind it. My beloved child, I see the hidden work. You have looked at the ground and wondered whether anything is happening. You prayed for your family and still saw tension. You worked responsibly and still felt overlooked. You tried to change, yet old habits stayed close. The delay made you question whether you misunderstood me. Do not confuse slow growth with no growth. Think of the farmer placing seed into dark soil. Once earth covers it, there is little to show. The field looks empty. Yet beneath the ground, the seed softens, the shell opens, and roots search for strength before any green shoot appears. Much of what I am doing in your life is happening beneath the surface. I am strengthening roots before allowing visible growth. I am shaping your character before expanding your influence. I am teaching you patience before placing greater responsibility in your hands. You keep asking me for fruit, but I am protecting the roots that will need to carry it. A small lunch was once placed into my hands. To human eyes, it could not meet the need. Yet what looked small became sufficient when surrendered with trust. Remember that when tempted to despise your beginning. Bring what you have and place it faithfully into my care. Your small act of obedience matters. The encouraging phone call matters. The money managed honestly matters. Time spent teaching your child matters. The prayer repeated while tired matters. Returning after disappointment matters. The boundary kept after unhealthy patterns matters. Seeds often look too small to carry the future hidden inside them. You want proof before continuing. You want to see the first leaf, the first answer, the first sign that your effort is working. I understand that desire. Waiting can make a faithful heart feel uncertain. But if you dig up a seed every morning to check whether it is growing, you interrupt the very process you are trying to confirm. Some things must be trusted before they can be seen. Do not keep reopening wise decisions because results have not arrived quickly. Do not abandon healthy habits because change feels gradual. Do not stop praying for someone simply because their heart has not softened yet. Do not throw away the work I gave you because another person seems to be moving faster. Their season is not your schedule. I have never needed to copy another person's timing to fulfill my purpose in you. One tree may bloom early. Another may spend a longer season building deep roots before it carries fruit. The later tree is not forgotten. It is being prepared for what it must hold. My beloved child, your waiting is not punishment. There are lessons that can only be learned while you remain in the field. Patience grows there, discernment grows there, humility grows there. You discover whether you love me only for visible rewards, or whether you trust my heart when the outcome is still unclear. I am not asking you to pretend waiting is easy. I know the exhaustion of showing up without recognition and checking for change only to find the same situation. I know the pain of watching others receive quickly what you requested for years. Bring that disappointment to me, but do not let it empty your hands. Keep planting. Plant honest words where confusion lived. Plant consistency where emotions ruled. Plant forgiveness where resentment grew. Plant discipline where excuses controlled you. Plant generosity quietly. Plant truth before fear speaks. You may not harvest from every field in the way you expected. Some prayers will be answered differently than you imagined. Some people will still make their own choices. Some doors will remain closed because I am protecting you. Faithfulness is not a way to control every outcome. It is a way to remain aligned with me while I decide what the outcome should become. Trust me with the form of the harvest. Sometimes the harvest is an open door. Sometimes it is wisdom to stop knocking. Sometimes it is restoration, and sometimes courage to release what cannot be restored. It may be provision, contentment, a changed circumstance, or a changed heart that can endure without breaking. No sincere obedience is wasted. Even painful seasons are producing something. The compassion you carry grew from places where you once needed compassion yourself. The patience you offer others was shaped in days when you had no choice but to wait. The wisdom in your voice was formed through mistakes you thought had disqualified you. I can turn every surrendered experience into nourishment for future fruit. So do not measure this season only by what you can hold today. Look at who you are becoming. You are more discerning than before. You recover more quickly. You recognize what once deceived you. You are learning to respond instead of react. These are not small changes. They are evidence that growth has begun. Remember, growth is not always loud. A calmer response, a wiser choice, a softer heart, and the courage to begin again are also part of the harvest. Do not overlook these quiet signs simply because they cannot be displayed to others. Continue, my beloved child. Water the field with prayer, protect it with wisdom, remove the weeds of bitterness, comparison, and constant doubt. Rest when you need to rest, but do not abandon what I clearly ask you to tend. I am not demanding frantic effort. I am asking for steady faithfulness. The harvest will come in the right form and at the right time. Until then, let your trust become deeper than your need for immediate evidence. Let your obedience become quieter than your desire for applause. Let your heart remain open while you wait. And when fear begins to tell you that nothing good is coming, bring that fear to me. Do not let it uproot what patience has planted. In the next step of this journey, I want to show you how to release the burden of tomorrow before it steals the strength I have given you for today. My beloved child, you have been faithful in the field, but I know what often rises inside you. Fear comes quietly. It asks a small question. What if nothing changes? What if the answer never comes? What if the future becomes harder than the present? Then one question becomes 10, and before long your mind is carrying tomorrow as though it has already happened. Give me that fear. I see the pressure you carry. I see the tightness in your chest when bills arrive. I see the way your thoughts race when someone you love does not answer the phone. I see you checking the same problem, hoping another look will give you control. I see you lying awake rehearsing conversations and preparing for losses. Wisdom prepares for what can be prepared. Fear tries to control what no human being can control. Wisdom takes the next faithful step. Fear demands to see the road before moving. Wisdom listens. Fear shouts. Wisdom leaves room for my guidance. My beloved child, you were never meant to live inside imagined disasters. Think of the disciples crossing the water when the storm rose around them. The wind was real. The waves were real. The boat was taking on water. Their fear was not invented, but their conclusion was wrong. They believed the storm meant they had been abandoned. Yet I was still in the boat. The presence of a storm does not mean the absence of your God. A hard report does not mean your story is finished. A closed door does not mean all doors will stay closed. A season of uncertainty does not mean you are walking without direction. You may not know what comes next, but you are not facing it alone. Fear wants you to forget who is with you. It tells you that everything depends on your strength, your planning, your money, and your ability to predict the future. It places the weight of the world on your shoulders and then condemns you for feeling tired. But you are not the keeper of the universe. You are my beloved child. Let me carry what only I can carry. Bring me the fear about your family. Bring me the fear about your health. Bring me the fear that you will fail again. Bring me the fear that people will leave, that opportunities will disappear, or that time is running out. Do not clean those fears before giving them to me. Do not wait until your faith feels strong. Bring them trembling. Bring them confused. Bring them honestly. I am not offended by your honesty. When you tell me that you are afraid, you are not showing me something I did not already know. You are opening the door so I can meet you there. Fear grows stronger in secrecy. It weakens when it is brought into the light. Say the fear plainly. Father, I am afraid I will not have enough. Father, I am afraid this relationship will not heal. Father, I am afraid I will never become the person I hope to become. Father, I am afraid of receiving bad news. Father, I am afraid that I have waited too long. Then pause. Let me answer your fear with my presence. You may not receive an explanation, but peace can begin before the solution appears. Peace is not always the removal of the problem. Sometimes peace is the knowledge that the problem does not have the final word. My beloved child, fear also changes the way you speak. You begin to describe trouble as permanent defeat. You say nothing will ever improve. You say your family will always be broken. You say you will never recover financially. You say you are too old, too damaged, or too far behind. I am asking you to speak with care. This does not mean pretending pain is not real. It means refusing to give pain authority over the future. Instead of saying there is no way forward, say I cannot see the way yet, but God can guide me. Instead of saying everything is falling apart, say this is hard, but I am still being held. Instead of saying I will never recover, say healing may take time, but I am not without help. Truth does not deny the storm. Truth remembers who speaks to it. I gave you a mind that can return to peace. When panic rises, slow down. Feel your feet on the floor. Unclench your hands. Let your shoulders fall. Take a steady breath. Name what is happening without surrendering to it. Say, fear is speaking, but fear is not my master. Then return to what is in front of you. You do not need strength for every possible future today. You need grace for this hour. You need courage for the next conversation, wisdom for the next decision, and patience for the next small step. I will meet you again when the next hour arrives. Remember how the people gathered food in the wilderness. They received what they needed for each day. They were not asked to carry the supply for every tomorrow at once. Let that teach your heart. I will give daily bread for daily needs. Do not force today to carry the weight of a lifetime. Some of your fear comes from old pain. You were surprised once, and now you expect every new situation to harm you. Someone broke your trust, and now uncertainty feels dangerous. You experienced lack, and now every expense sounds like an alarm. Your mind is trying to protect you by predicting pain before it arrives. Be gentle with yourself, but do not let old pain become your prophet. The past can inform you, but it must not rule you. What happened before is not proof that the same ending waits ahead. I can give you new wisdom, healthier boundaries, clearer discernment, and a different response. You are not walking into the future as the same person you were before. My beloved child, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing who will lead while fear is present. Let me lead. When fear tells you to hide, take one honest step. When fear tells you to isolate, speak to someone trustworthy. When fear tells you to quit, rest and listen before making a final decision. When fear tells you to control everyone around you, open your hands and remember that love cannot be forced. Tonight, when your mind begins building another frightening story, stop and return to me. Tell me what you are carrying. Breathe slowly. Let my love become louder than the prediction. You are safe enough to release what you cannot solve tonight. You are loved enough to stop preparing for rejection. You are held securely enough to enter tomorrow without knowing every detail. And now that you have placed your fear in my hands, I want to speak about the grip beneath it. Fear has taught you to hold the wheel of your life too tightly. In the next part of this journey, I will show you why surrender is not losing control. It is finally trusting the one who can see the road. My beloved child, now that you have placed your fear before me, I want you to notice what fear has trained your hands to do. It has taught you to grip everything tightly: your plans, your relationships, your reputation, your money, your future. You hold them as though one moment of weakness will cause everything to fall apart. That grip is exhausting you. You think control keeps you safe, but it only keeps you tense. You replay conversations before they happen. You try to predict how people will respond. You build backup plans. You watch every detail because you believe that if you stop watching, something painful will slip past you. My beloved child, you were never created to live with your heart clenched. There is a difference between responsibility and control. Responsibility asks, what is mine to do today? Control asks, how can I force tomorrow to obey me? Responsibility listens for wisdom. Control panics when the answer is delayed. Responsibility takes action and then rests. Control keeps working long after peace has left the room. I am not asking you to become careless. I am asking you to stop acting as though the outcome depends entirely on you. Think of Abraham leaving what was familiar without receiving every detail of the road ahead. He was given direction, but not a map. He had to walk with trust step by step. That is often how I lead you. I give enough light for the next part, not always enough light to explain the whole journey. You keep asking me to show you the entire road. I keep asking you to take the next faithful step. The need to know everything before moving is not always wisdom. Sometimes it is fear wearing a calm face. Sometimes it is the old wound that says uncertainty is dangerous. Sometimes it is disappointment trying to make sure you are never surprised again. I understand why you learned to hold on so tightly. There were moments when people failed you. Promises were broken. Plans collapsed. Doors closed without warning. You were left to clean up consequences you did not create. Part of you decided that the only way to avoid another surprise was to manage every detail yourself. But you cannot heal by becoming your own God. You cannot create peace by trying to control every person and outcome. People have free will. Circumstances change. Bodies grow tired. Opportunities come and go. No amount of planning can remove every uncertainty. That truth does not have to frighten you. It can free you. You are allowed to do what is wise and then place the result in my hands. You are allowed to prepare without obsessing. You are allowed to love someone without trying to control their choices. You are allowed to work faithfully without demanding that success arrive on your schedule. Open your hands, my beloved child. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips between your fingers. A gentle, open hand can carry what a fist cannot. This is what surrender looks like. It is not throwing your life away. It is learning to hold your life with trust instead of fear. Bring me the plan you have been protecting. Bring me the relationship you are trying to repair through force. Bring me the opportunity you are afraid to lose. Bring me the timeline that has become more important to you than my guidance. Bring me the answer you believe must happen in one way. Say, Father, this is what I desire, but I trust you with how it unfolds. That prayer is not weakness, it is maturity. Remember my son in the garden. He spoke honestly about the suffering before him. He did not pretend the weight was light, yet he placed his will into the Father's hands. Honest desire and surrender can live in the same prayer. You can ask boldly and still trust me with the answer. Surrender does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop worshiping the outcome. You can hope for restoration without making another person's decision the foundation of your peace. You can pursue a goal without allowing achievement to decide your worth. You can pray for healing without believing my love disappears if the process is longer than you hoped. My beloved child, some of your exhaustion comes from carrying responsibilities that belong to other people. You keep trying to manage their emotions, prevent their mistakes, and rescue them from every consequence. You believe that if they struggle, you have failed. But love does not mean controlling another person's journey. Sometimes love offers support. Sometimes love tells the truth. Sometimes love steps back and allows someone to learn you can care without carrying what is not yours. Ask yourself, is this mine to solve? Is this mine to decide? Is this mine to carry today? If the answer is no, release it, pray, offer help if it is welcome. Then let me work in places your hands cannot reach. You are not abandoning anyone by refusing to become responsible for their life. You are returning them to me. There will also be moments when surrender means releasing your preferred timeline. You thought the answer would come by now. You expected the relationship to be settled, the finances to improve, or the direction to become clear. Delay made you grip harder, but forcing a door before its time can injure you. A fruit picked too early may look ready, but it has not developed its sweetness. In the same way, some blessings require preparation that you cannot see. I may be preparing your character, arranging circumstances, protecting another person, or redirecting you towards something wiser. Do not mistake my pace for neglect. When you feel the urge to take control again, pause before reacting. Breathe. Pray before sending the message. Sleep before making the decision. Ask for wise counsel. Give your emotions time to settle. Peace often returns when urgency loses its authority. Not every thought requires action. Not every problem requires an answer tonight. Not every closed door requires you to break it down. My beloved child, I am holding more than you can see. I am working in conversations you have not heard, places you have not entered, and details you could never arrange by yourself. Your task is not to manage the universe. Your task is to stay close, remain honest, and obey what I place before you. So loosen your grip. Release the need to be understood by everyone. Release the need to control how your story appears. Release the belief that one mistake will destroy every good thing. I am able to guide you even when you take a wrong turn. My grace is not fragile. Put your life into my hands with patient trust. And as you begin to live with open hands, I want to show you something important about the people who wounded you. Surrendering control does not mean allowing harm to continue. In the next part of this journey, I will teach you how to forgive without giving away the boundaries that protect the peace I am rebuilding inside you. My beloved child, now that you are learning to live with open hands, I want to speak about the people whose actions made you close your heart. Some wounds did not come from strangers. They came from people you trusted, people you welcomed, people whose words carried enough weight to change the way you saw yourself. I saw what happened. I saw the promise that was broken. I saw the conversation where your honesty was used against you. I saw the friend who disappeared when your life became difficult. I saw the family member who kept crossing the same line and then acted as though your pain was unreasonable. I saw the person who apologized with words but returned to the same behavior. You do not have to pretend it did not hurt. Forgiveness is not pretending. It is not calling evil good. It is not forcing yourself to smile while your heart is still bleeding. It is not allowing someone endless access to you simply because they ask for another chance. I am not asking you to deny wisdom in order to prove that you are loving. My beloved child, I am asking you to become free. Unforgiveness can feel like protection. You hold the memory tightly because you believe anger will keep you from being hurt again. You rehearse what happened so you will never forget the lesson. You build a case in your mind, adding every new detail because part of you is still waiting for the other person to admit the full truth. But the longer you carry the case, the longer the wound remains in the courtroom of your heart. You may win every argument in your imagination and still lose your peace. Forgiveness begins when you stop asking the wound to repay you. It begins when you place justice in my hands and refuse to let another person's failure continue directing your emotions, choices, and identity. It is not saying they deserve no consequences. It is saying their actions will no longer own your inner life. Remember Joseph, who was betrayed by his own brothers and carried far from the life he knew. Their choices were cruel. The years that followed were painful. Yet I did not allow their betrayal to become the final definition of his story. What they intended for harm did not remain only harm in my hands. This does not excuse what they did. It reveals that human cruelty cannot cancel my ability to redeem. You may never receive the apology you deserve. Some people will protect their image instead of telling the truth. Some will minimize the damage. Some will say you are too sensitive because admitting your pain would require them to face themselves. Do not make your healing dependent on their honesty. Let me meet you where their apology never arrived. Tell me exactly what you lost. Trust, time, confidence, safety, opportunity, the ability to rest without suspicion. Name it without shame. I can handle the truth of your anger. I can sit with you in the grief beneath it. Often anger is guarding a deeper pain that has not yet been allowed to speak. Bring me both. Then begin to release the person from the debt they cannot truly repay. You may need to do this more than once. A memory may return. A familiar place may reopen the ache. A new disappointment may remind you of the old one. Forgiveness is sometimes a decision repeated until your emotions slowly follow. Do not condemn yourself because the pain returns. Healing is not always a straight road. My beloved child, forgiveness and reconciliation are not the same. Forgiveness can happen within your heart, even when reconciliation is not safe, wise, or possible. Reconciliation requires truth, responsibility, repentance, and change from both people. You cannot build trust alone. You are allowed to notice patterns. You are allowed to believe behavior. You are allowed to say no. When Nehemiah was rebuilding the wall, people tried to distract him and pull him away from the work. He did not leave the assignment every time someone demanded his attention. He recognized that not every invitation deserved a response. In the same way, you do not have to step down from the healing work I am doing in you to answer every accusation. A boundary is not revenge. It is a clear statement about what you will and will not permit around the life I have entrusted to you. It may sound like I will speak with you when we can speak respectfully. It may sound like I love you, but I cannot continue lending money while you refuse responsibility. It may sound like I forgive you, but trust must be rebuilt through consistent action. Healthy boundaries do not require hatred. Peace will not grow where constant access keeps reopening the injury. Protecting the healing process is not cruelty. It is stewardship of the heart I am now restoring. You can wish someone well from a distance. You can pray for them without returning to the same harmful environment. You can release bitterness without reopening a door that wisdom told you to close. Love does not always mean closeness. Sometimes love tells the truth and steps back. Do not confuse guilt with guidance. People who benefited from your lack of boundaries may call your healing selfish. They may say you have changed. They may remind you of everything they once did for you. Listen carefully. Conviction from me is clear and honest, but manipulation creates confusion, pressure, and fear. You are not responsible for keeping everyone comfortable. You are responsible for remaining truthful, compassionate, and wise. Still guard your heart against becoming hard. Boundaries should protect love, not destroy your ability to love. Do not turn one betrayal into a rule that nobody can be trusted. Do not punish new people for wounds they did not create. Ask me for discernment so that caution does not become isolation. There are safe people. There are relationships where honesty is welcomed. Apologies are sincere, and love does not require you to disappear. There are people who will respect your no, celebrate your growth, and remind you of truth when fear returns. Do not let the wrong people convince you that healthy connection does not exist. Ask me to reveal who belongs close. Pay attention to the fruit their presence produces. After spending time with them, do you feel clearer or more confused? Do they respect your faith, your time, and your limits? Can they celebrate your progress without competing? Can they tell you the truth without humiliating you? Choose company that helps your soul breathe. My beloved child, you are not called to carry bitterness, but neither are you called to volunteer for repeated harm. Forgive with an open heart. Walk with open eyes. Let mercy and wisdom stand together. And as your heart becomes lighter, protect what enters it each morning. In the next part of this journey, I want to show you how the noise you welcome first can shape everything you feel afterward, and why returning to me before the world reaches you can change the direction of your entire day. My beloved child, now that you are learning to protect your heart with wisdom, I want you to look at what reaches that heart before the day has even begun. Many mornings your eyes open, and the world enters before I do. Before your feet touch the floor, you reach for a screen. Messages, headlines, opinions, comparisons, arguments, and demands rush toward you while your spirit is still waking. By the time you stand up, your body is in the room, but your mind is already scattered. You have absorbed other people's fear before hearing my peace. You have measured your life against someone else's carefully chosen moment before remembering the life I gave you. You have allowed the loudest voice to speak first, and then you wonder why your heart feels crowded. My beloved child, return to me before the noise reaches you. I am not asking for a perfect morning routine. I am not measuring how long you pray or how many pages you read. I am inviting you to give me the first open space in your attention. Even a few quiet minutes can change the direction of your thoughts when they are offered honestly. Sit with me before you begin carrying everyone else. Let the room be still. Let your breathing slow. Tell me what is already on your mind. You do not need formal words. You do not need to sound spiritual. Say, Father, I am tired. Father, I am worried. Father, I do not know what today will require. Father, help me walk through it with you. I would rather receive your honest sentence than a polished prayer spoken without your heart. Remember how Samuel learned to recognize my voice in the quiet of the night. He did not understand everything immediately. He simply became willing to listen. That willingness matters. Your day changes when you stop, beginning with, what does the world expect from me, and begin with, Father, what do you want to form in me today? There is a difference between information and nourishment. Information tells you what is happening everywhere. Nourishment gives you strength to live faithfully where you are. You can know every headline and still have no peace. You can follow every argument and still have no wisdom. You can watch the lives of hundreds of people and still feel unseen in your own. Your spirit cannot live on noise. Think of a garden receiving water through a narrow channel. If the channel is filled with leaves, dirt, and debris, the water cannot reach the roots. In the same way, when every quiet space is filled with scrolling, reacting, and comparing, it becomes harder for truth to reach the deep places in you. Clear the channel. Turn the phone over for a while. Leave the notifications unanswered. The world can wait a few minutes. Your soul has been waiting much longer. Open my words slowly. Do not rush through it merely to complete a task. Take one truth and carry it with you. Read that I am near to the brokenhearted. Read that my mercies are new each morning. Read that those who wait upon me receive renewed strength. Let one sentence become bread for the road ahead. My beloved child, you do not need to consume everything to be prepared for the day. You need to remember what is true. The world will tell you that you are behind. I will remind you that your life is not a race against another person's timing. The world will tell you to prove yourself. I will remind you that you are already loved. The world will fill your mind with emergencies. I will help you recognize what truly deserves your attention. Not everything urgent is important. Not every opinion deserves entrance. Not every notification is a command. You are allowed to choose what shapes your inner world. Guarding your mind does not mean hiding from reality. It means meeting reality from a place of truth rather than panic. You can read difficult news without carrying the weight of the entire world. You can care about suffering without letting constant exposure destroy your ability to serve. You can stay informed without becoming consumed. Ask yourself what the content you receive is producing in you. A stream does not remain clean when polluted water is poured into it every day. Your mind also reflects what repeatedly enters it. If you fill it with outrage, comparison, gossip, and endless suspicion, peace will struggle to remain. If you fill it with truth, gratitude-wise teaching, and honest prayer, clarity will begin to grow. This is not about fearfully avoiding every difficult subject. It is about choosing a healthy diet for your spirit. You do not have to keep drinking from a cup that makes your soul sick. Choose silence sometimes. At first, silence may feel uncomfortable because noise has been helping you avoid what is happening inside. When the room becomes quiet, grief may rise. Unanswered questions may return. Loneliness may become noticeable. Do not run immediately. Stay with me there. Silence is not empty when I am present. Let me show you what your constant activity has been covering. Let me touch the place beneath the distraction. Let me teach you that peace is not found by escaping yourself, but by meeting me honestly within yourself. Talk to me throughout the day. Speak to me while driving. Speak to me before opening an email that makes you anxious. Speak to me while washing dishes, preparing food, or walking between responsibilities. Prayer is not limited to a room, a posture, or a scheduled moment. It is the steady turning of your heart toward me. When you feel overwhelmed, say, "Stay close to me." When you feel irritated, say, "Help me answer with wisdom." When you feel discouraged, say, "Remind me what is true." These small returns keep your heart connected. You may still have a busy day. Problems may still require your attention. People may still misunderstand you. But beginning with me changes what you carry into those moments. You enter with a quieter center. You are less easily pulled into panic. You remember that you can pause before reacting. My beloved child, give me your first attention, not because I am competing for your affection, but because I know what the world will try to place upon you. Let me cover your mind with truth before fear begins speaking. Let me remind you who you are before comparison starts measuring you. Let me strengthen you before responsibility starts pulling. Return to me tomorrow morning. Return again at midday. Return before sleep. And if you realize you have drifted, return without shame. I am not counting how often you lose focus. I am welcoming you each time you come back. Yet there may be days when you return and feel nothing. The words may seem distant. Prayer may feel dry. Silence may feel empty instead of peaceful. Do not assume that means I have left you. In the next part of this journey, I will show you how to trust me when your spirit feels like dry ground and no rain seems near. My beloved child, you have been returning to me before the noise reaches you, but I know there are mornings when the silence does not feel peaceful. You sit down, you open my word, you try to pray, yet your heart feels dry, your thoughts feel heavy, and nothing inside you seems to respond. You wonder where the warmth went. A simple prayer could bring tears to your eyes. A song could soften your heart. You sensed my nearness in ordinary moments. Now you may still attend, still read, still say the right words, but inside you feel as though you are walking across land that has not seen rain. My beloved child, do not mistake dryness for abandonment. I have not stepped away from you. I have not grown tired of you. I have not closed my heart because you are struggling to feel me. Feelings are real, but they are not always reliable witnesses. They can be affected by exhaustion, grief, disappointment, and stress. Your lack of emotion does not mean a lack of my presence. Think of the roots of a tree during winter. From the outside, the branches appear empty. There are no flowers, no fruit, and no sign of movement. Yet beneath the ground, life remains. The roots are holding. Strength is being stored. Preparation is happening where no eye can see. Some seasons of your faith are like that. You are looking for visible leaves while I am strengthening hidden roots. You are asking for excitement while I am teaching endurance. You are waiting for a powerful feeling while I am building a trust that can stand even when feeling is absent. This kind of faith is quieter, but it is not weaker. Remember Elijah after the fire, the wind, and the shaking. I did not always come to him through the loud and dramatic. I met him in a gentle whisper. You may be waiting for something overwhelming while I am speaking through a small truth, a quiet conviction, or the simple strength to continue through another day. Do not overlook the whisper because you were expecting thunder. My beloved child, spiritual dryness can also reveal where you have been searching for water. You may be asking a relationship to satisfy what only I can fill. You may be hoping a new opportunity, more money, recognition, or a change in appearance will finally make your heart feel complete. Those things may bring relief, but they cannot become your source. You can drink from the well of approval and feel thirsty again by evening. You can receive the answer you wanted and still discover an emptiness beneath it. You can reach a goal and wonder why joy did not remain. Created things can bless you, but they cannot carry the full weight of your soul. Come back to the living water. Bring me the thirst instead of trying to hide it. Say, Father, I feel distant. Father, I do not understand this season. Father, I am showing up, but I feel empty. Honest prayer is still prayer. A weak voice turning toward me is still an act of faith. I do not demand that you manufacture emotion. Do not force tears. Do not pretend excitement. Do not compare your quiet season with someone else's public passion. I am not grading your relationship with me by how intense you appear. I am looking at the direction of your heart. If your heart is still turning toward me, even slowly, grace is already at work. Keep showing up. Open the book, even when the words seem flat. Read slowly. Stay with one passage. Ask what it reveals about my character rather than only searching for an immediate answer. Let truth remain in you. Keep praying even when your prayers feel unfinished. Sit in silence when words will not come. Let your breathing become a simple offering. Say my name. That is enough to begin. I understand the prayer that never reaches a full sentence. Keep choosing what nourishes you. Rest your body. Speak honestly with someone wise. Step outside. Notice the sky, the air, the movement of light. Sometimes your spirit feels dry because your whole life has been running without rest. You are not only a soul, you are also a body that needs care. There are times when I allow familiar feelings to become quiet because I want your faith to grow beyond dependence on them. A child may trust a parent while holding their hand, but maturity also learns to trust when the parent is working in another room. You may not sense my hand, but you can still trust my heart. The people of Israel walked through wilderness before entering a land of abundance. The wilderness exposed fear, impatience, and old thinking. It was not comfortable, but it revealed what still needed healing. Your dry season may also be showing you what success, approval, or constant activity once covered. Do not despise what this season is teaching you. You are learning that faith is not a constant emotional high. It is a relationship. Relationships include conversation, silence, closeness, waiting questions, and renewed trust. Love that survives only when it feels exciting is fragile. Love that remains through quiet seasons becomes deep. I am deepening you. You may not see fruit yet, but you are becoming less dependent on applause. You are learning to pray without performing. You are learning to seek me for who I am, not only for what I can give. You are discovering that I remain worthy, even when the answer is delayed. This is sacred growth. Do not let shame enter the dry place. Shame will tell you that a stronger believer would feel more. It will tell you that you have failed me. It will urge you to withdraw until you can return with more passion. Reject that voice. Come as you are. Come tired. Come distracted. Come disappointed. Come with questions. I would rather have your honest presence than your polished distance. My beloved child, rain does not ask the ground to prove that it deserves water. It falls because dry ground needs it. In the same way, my mercy is not a reward for spiritual performance. It is the gift that meets you where you are. The rain may begin quietly. It may come as one peaceful morning, one sentence that finally reaches you, one conversation that helps you breathe again, one moment when gratitude returns without being forced. Do not dismiss these small drops. A dry field is restored one drop at a time. Trust the process. Continue tending the soil of your heart. Remove the weeds of bitterness. Break up the hard ground of disappointment. Make room for truth. Rest when you are tired. Wait without declaring that nothing is happening. I am still here, and as fresh life begins to return, I will show you why some things from your past must remain behind you. Dry seasons often reveal what you can no longer carry forward. In the next part of this journey, I will help you close the old chapter without fear and receive the new page I am placing before you. My beloved child, the dry season has shown you what can no longer travel with you. Some things survived only because you kept returning to them. Old memories, old guilt, old conversations, old versions of yourself. You have opened the same chapter so many times that the pages have become worn from your hands. You keep asking whether the ending could have been different. You wonder what might have happened if you had spoken sooner, stayed longer, left earlier, trusted less, or believed more. You replay decisions with the wisdom you have today and judge the person you were then for not knowing what you know now. My beloved child, that is not mercy. You were learning, you were surviving, you were making choices with the strength, knowledge, and healing available to you at that time. Some choices were wise, some were not. Some consequences still ache, but you cannot heal the past by standing over it with punishment. Bring it to me. Bring me the relationship that ended without the closure you wanted. Bring me the job that disappeared after you gave it your best. Bring me the plan that failed in front of people who expected you to succeed. Bring me the mistake that still makes you lower your eyes when you remember it. I already know every detail. I know what happened before the moment you regret. I know the pressure you carried, the fear you hid, and the voices that influenced you. I know where you were wounded and where you wounded others. Nothing is hidden from me, yet I am still calling you closer. Shame tells you to keep rereading the chapter until you can somehow suffer enough to change it. Grace tells you to learn from it, receive forgiveness, and turn the page. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can stop allowing yesterday to write every tomorrow. Remember the woman who came to the well carrying more than an empty jar. She carried history, disappointment, and the judgment of her community. I did not speak to her as though her past had made her useless. I spoke to the thirst beneath it. I gave truth without humiliation and offered a future larger than the labels around her. That is how I meet you. I do not ignore what happened. I redeem what happened. There are doors you keep trying to reopen because they once held something meaningful. You forget the confusion, the constant strain, and the ways you were becoming smaller to remain inside. A closed door is not always rejection. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes I close what you would keep choosing because you are attached to familiarity. Sometimes I remove what is comfortable because it is no longer helping you grow. Sometimes the answer you call loss is the space needed for a healthier answer to arrive. Do not stand at a locked door until your life becomes a hallway. Turn around now. My beloved child, releasing the past does not mean forgetting every lesson. It means carrying wisdom without carrying chains. Keep what taught you discernment. Keep what deepened your compassion. Keep the boundaries you learned to build, but leave behind the belief that pain is all you deserve. You are allowed to become someone new. Some people will resist that change because they were comfortable with the version of you that had no boundaries. Some will remind you of who you used to be whenever your growth makes them uncomfortable. Do not return to an old identity merely to make another person feel secure. Growth may require new language. Instead of saying I always ruin things, say I am learning to respond differently. Instead of saying I wasted too many years, say I now understand what matters. Instead of saying it is too late, say I still have breath and there is still purpose before me. Your words help shape the direction of your attention. Speak with hope, but do not rush the process. A new chapter does not erase grief. You may still miss what ended. You may still feel sadness when a familiar date, place, or song brings the memory back. Let the feeling pass through without turning it into a command to return. Missing something does not always mean you should recover it. Sometimes you miss the dream of what it could have been more than the reality of what it was. Let me help you separate the two. My beloved child, you also fear starting again because beginning makes you feel inexperienced. You look at your age, your responsibilities, or your limited resources and think the opportunity has passed. But beginning again is not the same as beginning empty. You carry experience now. You carry lessons purchased through difficulty. You recognize warning signs sooner. You understand your needs more clearly. You know what peace feels like and what repeatedly steals it. You know that excitement without character cannot build something lasting. You are not starting from nothing. You are starting with wisdom. Moses believed his season had passed while he lived far from the life he once knew. Yet the wilderness became part of his preparation. The years he may have considered lost were not outside my purpose. When the time came, I called him from where he was not, from where he wished he had been. I can call you from here, not from the perfect version of your life, not from the timeline you imagined. From here, from this age, from this financial condition, from this place of healing, from this unfinished story. Stop waiting to become someone without a past. I use people who have walked through fire because they know how to recognize smoke. I use people who have failed because they can speak with compassion to those who are afraid to try again. I use people who have been restored because they carry proof that brokenness does not have the final word. Your scars are not instructions to hide. They are reminders that healing is possible. Take one step into the new chapter. Clear the space. Make the call. Write the plan. Remove what keeps pulling you backward. Ask for help. Begin with what is already in your hands rather than waiting for perfect conditions. The new may feel quiet at first. Do not despise a small beginning. A sunrise does not arrive as full daylight in one instant. It begins with a thin line of light, then slowly changes everything it touches. Let your next season begin that way. My beloved child, close the old chapter with gratitude for what it taught you, honesty about what it cost, and peace about what cannot be changed. You do not need to tear out the pages. They belong to your story, but they do not control the ending. Place the book in my hands. Receive the blank page before you, and as you begin to write with me, I want you to look at what I have already placed within you. The next chapter will not be built by copying another person. It will grow from the gifts, strengths, and purpose I formed inside you, long before you learned to doubt them. My beloved child, the new page before you is not empty. You are not beginning without tools, history, or something meaningful to offer. Long before you understood your purpose, I placed gifts inside you. Some became visible early. Others stayed quiet because fear, comparison, or disappointment taught you to hide them. Look again at what is already in your hands. You may have admired what others do so often that you stopped noticing what comes naturally through you. You hear someone speak with confidence and wish for their voice. You watch someone lead, create, or build, then look at your own ability and call it ordinary. My beloved child, ordinary does not mean unimportant. A lamp does not become useless because it cannot light an entire city. It fulfills its purpose by bringing light to the room where it has been placed. In the same way, your gift does not need to impress everyone. It needs to serve faithfully where I send you. You may listen in a way that helps people feel safe. You may notice details others miss. You may bring calm into confusion, order into disorder, or hope into a heavy room. You may understand numbers, solve problems, teach patiently, create beauty, or recognize pain before anyone speaks. I formed these abilities intentionally. Remember Bezalel, whom I filled with wisdom and craftsmanship for sacred work. His gift was not speaking to crowds. It was creating with excellence. Do not limit my calling to a stage. I use builders, caregivers, planners, artists, parents, teachers, workers, and quiet servants. Your gift may look practical, but it can still carry my presence. My beloved child, stop calling what I created too small. I do not ask you to become proud. I ask you to become honest. False humility says there is nothing valuable in me. True humility says what I have came from God, and I will use it with gratitude. You have hidden behind the sentence, someone else can do it better. Perhaps they can do it differently. That does not mean they can carry your assignment in the way I shaped you to carry it. Your experiences, compassion lessons, personality, and perspective form a combination that no one else possesses. The world does not need another copy. It needs your faithful response. Fear will tell you to wait until you feel completely ready. Perfection will tell you to delay until there is no chance of failure. Comparison will tell you that your beginning looks embarrassing beside someone else's progress. Do not obey those voices. Every developed gift once looked unfinished. A musician once struggled through simple notes. A teacher once faced a small group nervously. A business owner once served a first customer. A writer once faced a blank page. Skill grows through use, patience, correction, and repetition. You do not discover everything by thinking about it. Sometimes you discover your gift by serving. Begin where you are. Help the person before you. Solve the problem you can see. Create with the resources available. Offer what you know without pretending to know everything. Let practice reveal what fear has hidden. My beloved child, you are also responsible for the resources surrounding your gift. Your time, attention, energy, and money matter. They are not meaningless pieces of life. They are resources placed in your care, and what you repeatedly do with them will shape what grows. Do not say you have no time while giving hours to distractions. Do not say you have no energy while spending it on arguments, comparison, and people who reject healthy boundaries. Do not say you have nothing to give because your resources appear smaller than another person's. Faithfulness begins with what is available. Remember the widow who offered what looked small. I saw the heart behind it. Remember the servants entrusted with different amounts. They were not judged by equal resources. Each was asked to be faithful with what had been received. I am not comparing your portion with another person's portion. I am asking what you are doing with yours. Manage your money wisely. Give without purchasing approval. Save without letting fear master you. Spend according to your values. Use your time for rest, work, relationships, learning, and service. Protect your energy so you can offer your best where it matters. Generosity is larger than money. You can give attention to the invisible, patience to a learning child, or knowledge to someone beginning behind you. You can bring a meal, send encouragement, make an introduction, or sit beside someone in silence quietly. Small offerings become meaningful when love carries them. Do not wait to become wealthy before becoming generous, or an expert before becoming helpful. Do not wait for a large audience before speaking truth. Start with the person, need, and opportunity before you today. My beloved child, your gift is not only for your comfort, it is meant to flow. Water that never moves becomes stagnant. In the same way, a gift that is always protected but never shared can become buried beneath fear. You may think hiding keeps you safe from criticism, but it also keeps others from receiving what I intended to pass through you. Yes, using your gift will make you visible. Some people may misunderstand or criticize your beginning. Let that possibility humble you, but do not let it silence you. You are not responsible for controlling every reaction. You are responsible for serving faithfully. Keep your motives clean. Do not use your gift to prove that you are important. Do not turn purpose into a performance for applause. Let love guide the work. Let excellence be an act of gratitude. Let success mean that you were faithful, teachable, and willing to serve. There will be seasons when your gift changes form. You may once have served publicly and now serve quietly. You may once have earned through an ability that now helps your family in a different way. Do not assume a change in platform means a loss of purpose. I can use the same gift through many assignments. Pay attention to what brings life. Notice the problems you naturally want to solve. Notice the people you understand deeply. Notice the work that leaves you tired but meaningful rather than empty. Notice what wise people consistently affirm in you. These clues can help you recognize what I have been developing. Then take responsibility for growth. Learn, practice, ask questions, receive correction without collapsing into shame. Discipline is one way you honor a gift. Inspiration may begin the work, but consistency strengthens it. My beloved child, I did not place these things within you so you could spend your life apologizing for them. Use them, refine them, share them. Let them become a doorway through which my kindness reaches other people. And as you begin to use what I placed inside you, you will need a strong foundation. The world will offer many definitions of success, and many voices will tell you how to measure your worth. In the next part of this journey, I will teach you how to stand in truth and remain at peace even when the surface around you becomes loud and unsettled. My beloved child, now that you are beginning to use what I placed inside you, you must also learn where to stand when the voices around you become loud. Gifts without truth can be pulled in every direction. Purpose without peace can become another burden. You need a foundation that does not move when opinions change, headlines shift, and people around you lose their balance. The world is noisy. Every day another voice tells you who to become, what to fear, what to chase, and what to abandon. One person says you are behind. Another says your values are outdated. Another tells you that peace will come only when you earn more, prove more, own more, or become more visible. My beloved child, do not let confusion become your compass. Truth is not decided by the loudest voice in the room. It does not change because a crowd agrees with something for a season. My truth remains steady when culture changes its language, when public opinion turns, and when circumstances try to make you doubt what you once knew. Stand there. Stand in the truth that you are loved before you perform. Stand in the truth that character matters when no one is watching. Stand in the truth that peace is worth protecting. Stand in the truth that compromise may offer quick approval, but it cannot give lasting rest. You do not need to argue with every voice. A tree does not defend its roots to the wind. It simply remains rooted. In the same way, you do not have to explain every conviction to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Speak with kindness. Live with consistency. Let the fruit of your life answer questions that debate cannot settle. Remember Daniel, who lived in a place where pressure surrounded him. He served with excellence, but he did not surrender the practices that kept his heart aligned with me. He did not become hostile, and he did not become hidden. He remained steady. That is the strength I want to form in you. Not loud rebellion, not fear-driven withdrawal, quiet faithfulness. You may walk into rooms where others are anxious, angry, or uncertain. Do not borrow their panic. Bring a different atmosphere. Listen before speaking. Slow the conversation. Refuse gossip. Refuse cruelty disguised as humor. Refuse the pressure to become harsh simply because harshness is popular. My beloved child, peace is not passivity. Peace is strength under guidance. It allows you to see clearly when others are reacting. It helps you respond rather than explode. It keeps you from making permanent decisions inside temporary emotion. Peace does not mean you ignore injustice or remain silent when truth should be spoken. It means fear does not choose your words. Ask me for that kind of peace. Before entering a difficult conversation, pause. Before answering a message that stirs anger, breathe. Before accepting an accusation as truth, bring it to me. You do not have to answer at the speed of pressure. Urgency often makes wisdom hard to hear. My beloved child, there will be storms you cannot prevent. A financial change may shake your plans. A medical report may interrupt your routine. A relationship may enter a difficult season. People may disappoint you. The future may feel uncertain. Do not confuse the storm with the foundation. When rain strikes a house, the storm reveals what the house was built upon. In the same way, pressure reveals where your trust has been resting. If your peace depends only on predictable circumstances, every change will feel like collapse. But if your life is built on me, the storm can be real without becoming your master. You may bend, but you do not have to break. Think of an anchor resting below the surface. The boat still feels the waves. The deck still moves. The wind still presses against it. Yet something deeper is holding it in place. My presence is that deeper place. You are not promised a life without waves. You are invited into a life that is held beneath them. When the surface becomes loud, go deeper. Close your eyes for a moment. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. Breathe slowly. Say, Father, keep me anchored in what is true. Say, I do not need to solve everything at once. Say, this storm is not greater than the one who holds me. Let those words settle. My beloved child, your mind may still race after you pray. That does not mean the prayer failed. Peace often grows through repeated return. Each time fear pulls you to the surface, return to the deeper place. Each time a headline conversation or unexpected problem shakes, you return again. You are training your heart to come home. Guard what you repeatedly rehearse. If you repeat every frightening possibility, your body will respond as though the disaster has already happened. If you repeat truth, gratitude, and wise action, your inner world begins to make room for peace. This does not mean denying facts. It means placing facts beneath my authority. You can say the situation is difficult and I am still guided. You can say I do not know the answer and I am still held. You can say I feel afraid and fear will not choose my next step. Those are honest words. Truth and emotion do not have to fight each other. You can acknowledge pain without surrendering identity. You can admit uncertainty without abandoning faith. You can grieve and still believe that your story is not over. My beloved child, I am also calling you to become an anchor for others. Not by having every answer, but by carrying a steady presence. A calm person can change the tone of a room. A patient listener can stop a conflict from growing. A truthful word spoken gently can bring light into confusion. Let me use your stability. When others panic, do not shame them. Help them breathe. When others are discouraged, do not offer empty promises. Remind them of what is still true. When people are divided, do not add more heat. Bring clarity, compassion, and courage. You can be firm without becoming cold. You can be gentle without becoming weak. You can stand in truth without losing love. This balance comes from staying close to me. My beloved child, do not build your identity on success, attention, or agreement. Those things can disappear quickly. Build on what remains. My love remains. My character remains. My presence remains. The truth I speak over your life remains. Rest there. Let the world change its mind. Let trends rise and fade. Let people misunderstand what obedience requires from you. You do not need to chase every wave. Stand, breathe, stay rooted. You are steadier than the storm suggests today. And as you learn to rest beneath the storm, I want to awaken something that fear and disappointment have lowered inside you. Your expectations have become smaller because you have been protecting yourself from hope. In the next part of this journey, I will show you how to raise your expectation again and take the first faithful step toward what I have placed before you. My beloved child, you have learned to stand when the storm is loud. Now I want to speak to the part of you that has quietly lowered its expectations. Disappointment has trained you to hope carefully. You still pray, but something whispers, do not expect too much. You still dream, but keep it small to avoid deeper pain. I understand why you became cautious. You believed, but the answer delayed. You stepped forward and the door closed. You trusted someone and they disappointed you. You worked, but the result disappointed you. After enough pain, self-protection felt wiser than hope. But fear often calls itself wisdom. My beloved child, I am not asking you to become careless or pretend every desire will unfold as imagined. Stop expecting defeat before the day begins. Leave room for my guidance, provision, and unseen possibilities. You have been living as though the past has already written the future. It is not. Remember the man who waited beside the pool for many years. He had lived with the same limitation so long that when help stood before him, he first explained why change seemed impossible. Pain taught him to describe the obstacle more clearly than possibility. Sometimes you do the same. You explain why the business cannot begin. You list why the relationship cannot heal. You tell me why age, education, money, history, or responsibility make the dream unrealistic. You have studied the barrier so closely that you barely notice the opening beside it. My beloved child, raise your eyes. Expectation is not demanding that I follow your plan. It is believing that your present condition is not the limit of what I can do. It is waking up with a heart that says, Father, show me what is possible today. It is remaining attentive, because the answer may arrive in a form you did not predict. A seed does not know the shape of the tree it will become. It simply responds to light, water, and the life placed inside it. You also do not need to understand the entire future before taking the first step. You need enough trust to respond to what is in front of you. The first step may feel unimpressive. It may be writing one page, making one call, saving a small amount, asking one question, attending one meeting, or having one honest conversation. You may expect purpose to begin with a dramatic moment, but many important changes begin in quiet obedience. Do not despise what appears small. David did not begin with a throne. He began by tending what was already near him. Ruth did not know how her future would unfold. She simply chose faithfulness in the next place before her. The disciples did not receive every detail before following. They heard the invitation and moved. Movement reveals what standing still cannot. My beloved child, you have been waiting to feel ready, but readiness often grows after action begins. Confidence is not always given before the step. Sometimes it is built because you took the step and discovered that I met you there. You do not need to feel fearless. You need to become willing. Fear may travel with you at first. Let it sit in the back, but do not give it the wheel. You can acknowledge the trembling and still send the application. You can feel uncertain and still begin learning. You can be nervous and still speak the truth. Courage is often quiet. It looks like showing up again after embarrassment. It looks like asking for help after trying alone. It looks like beginning later than you planned. It looks like doing the next right thing without applause or guarantees. My beloved child, examine the excuses that have become familiar. You say you need more time, but sometimes you are afraid to use the time you have. You say you need more money, but sometimes the first step requires only discipline and creativity. You say you need more confirmation, but sometimes I have already made the direction clear and you are asking again because obedience feels uncomfortable. Be honest with me. Ask, am I waiting on you, or am I asking you to bless my delay? There are seasons when waiting is wise. There are also seasons when waiting becomes hiding. Discern the difference. Wise waiting prepares, listens, and remains available. Fearful delay keeps moving the starting line. Do not keep moving it. Choose one step, not 10 steps, not the entire plan. One step you can complete with the resources, knowledge, and strength you have today, then complete it faithfully. My beloved child, release the need for immediate evidence. The first action may not produce a visible result. A conversation may not solve everything. A new habit may not change your life in 1 week. A beginning is not a harvest. It is an agreement with possibility. Keep the agreement. You may need to adjust as you learn. Changing direction after receiving wisdom is not failure. It is growth. I can guide a moving heart more easily than one that refuses to leave the familiar because it wants certainty first. Trust that I can redirect you. You are not powerful enough to ruin my purpose with one imperfect attempt. If your heart remains teachable, I can use mistakes to clarify the road. I can close what is wrong, strengthen what is right, and reveal what you could not understand from a distance. My grace can guide you while you move. Do not compare your beginning with another person's middle. They have taken steps you did not see. They have learned through failures they may never mention. Your assignment is not to match their pace. It is to respond faithfully to your own invitation. My beloved child, expectation also changes your language. Stop entering each morning saying nothing good ever happens for me. Say, I will watch for grace today. Stop saying I always miss my opportunity. Say, I am learning to recognize what belongs to me. Stop saying I am too late. Say, I can still obey from where I am. These words are not magic. They are a way of turning your attention toward truth. Hope helps you notice what despair ignores. A discouraged heart sees only another closed door. A hopeful heart also notices the window, the lesson, the person offering help, and the small opening that did not exist yesterday. Pay attention. I may answer through an idea that keeps returning, a wise conversation, a burden you cannot ignore, or an opportunity that seems smaller than your expectation. Do not reject a beginning because it arrives without drama. My beloved child, raise your expectation but keep your hands open. Believe I can lead you into something new without demanding that it look exactly as you planned. Hope deeply, listen carefully, move humbly. Take the first step, then let me meet you in motion. And as you begin moving forward, remember that achievement will never cure the deepest loneliness inside you. In the next part of this journey, I will show you how to stay rooted in my love when you feel unseen, misunderstood, or alone, even while surrounded by people. My beloved child, you have begun to move again. You have raised your expectation, taken the first step, and opened your heart to possibility. But I know something. Progress does not always silence loneliness. A busy schedule, a new goal, or a room full of people cannot heal the place inside you that still feels unseen. You can smile and still feel alone. You can answer messages, attend gatherings, work beside others, and still carry the question, does anyone truly know me? People may know your name, your role, your habits, and the version of you that functions well. Yet few may know the tired thoughts you hide, the fears you do not explain, or the moments when your strength feels thin. My beloved child, I know that hidden place. I see the moment you enter a crowded room and feel separate from everyone in it. I see when conversations stay on the surface while your heart is longing for something honest. I see when you tell people you are fine because explaining the truth feels too difficult. I see when you reach for your phone hoping a message will make you feel remembered. Loneliness is not always the absence of people. Sometimes it is the absence of safe connection. You were created to be known, to give love, and to receive it. That desire is not weakness. It is part of how I formed you. But no human relationship can carry the full weight of being your source, your identity, your constant security, and your final home. People can love you deeply and still misunderstand you. They can care and still become distracted. They can promise presence and still face limits of their own. They can support you in one season and be unable to walk beside you in another. This does not always mean their love was false. It means they are human. Do not ask a human heart to become what only I can be. Remember Hagar in the wilderness. She felt pushed aside, uncertain, and alone with a future she could not see. Yet in that place she discovered that I was the God who saw her. Her situation had not become easy, but she was no longer invisible. I am still the God who sees. My beloved child, I see beyond the face you show the world. I know what you meant when your words came out wrong. I know the grief beneath your silence. I know why certain places make you tense and why certain memories return when the house becomes quiet. You never have to explain yourself perfectly to me. Come without arranging the story. Tell me, Father, I feel alone. Tell me I am tired of being strong around everyone. Tell me I want someone to understand without making me defend my pain. Tell me I'm afraid that if people see the real me, they will leave. I will not leave because you are honest. Your need does not overwhelm me. Your tears do not make me uncomfortable. Your questions do not offend me. I am not waiting for a calmer, cleaner, more spiritual version of you. I am present with the person you are in this moment. Let my presence become a place where you stop performing. Sit with me when the loneliness rises. Do not rush immediately toward noise. Do not fill every empty moment with scrolling television work or conversations that leave you emptier. Distraction can postpone the ache, but it cannot heal it. Stay long enough to hear what the loneliness is saying. Perhaps it is revealing that you have been giving too much access to people who only know how to take. Perhaps it is showing you that you have been avoiding honest connection because rejection feels dangerous. Perhaps it is reminding you that you stopped bringing your deepest heart to me. Loneliness can become an invitation. Not an invitation to isolate, but an invitation to return. My beloved child, root yourself in my love before asking another person to prove your worth. A tree planted in shallow soil depends too much on the weather. When approval comes, it feels alive. When attention disappears, it begins to collapse. But a tree with deep roots can endure changing seasons. Let my love become your root. My love is not based on how useful you are. It does not grow when you succeed and shrink when you disappoint yourself. It does not become impatient when you need reassurance. It remains steady because it begins in my character, not your performance. Remember, the branch connected to the vine. The branch does not strain to create life alone. It receives life by remaining connected. In the same way, you do not have to manufacture belonging. Stay close to me, and let my love move through the places that rejection has made dry. Say I am not forgotten. Say I am known by God. Say I am held even when no one calls. These words will not remove every human need, but they will keep that need from becoming desperation. My beloved child, I am also preparing people who can meet you with honesty and care. But healthy connection often requires courage from you. You may need to stop waiting for someone to notice what you never share. You may need to tell a trusted person, I have been struggling. You may need to accept an invitation instead of assuming you will not belong. Do not let fear turn solitude into a prison. There are people who will listen. There are communities where you can grow. There are friendships that do not require pretending. Ask me for discernment, then take small steps toward connection. Choose depth over constant access. One honest conversation can nourish you more than many shallow exchanges. One safe relationship can remind you that trust is still possible. Do not measure love by how many people know you. Measure it by whether truth, respect, and care can live there. And become the kind of presence you are asking to receive. Notice the person sitting quietly. Send the message you wish someone would send you. Listen without preparing a quick answer. Make room for another person's story. Sometimes connection begins when you offer the kindness you have been waiting to experience. My beloved child, do not confuse being alone with being abandoned. There will be evenings when the room is quiet and no human voice is near. Let those moments become sacred rather than frightening. Make a meal, open the window, pray honestly. Rest without treating stillness as proof that something is wrong with you. You are not incomplete because this season is quiet. You are not unlovable because certain people left. You are not forgotten because the phone does not ring. You are with me. Let that truth settle beneath each need. And when you remain close, yet still cannot feel my nearness, do not panic. There will be seasons when even prayer seems to meet silence. In the next part of this journey, I will show you why my silence has never meant my absence and how to trust what I am doing where you cannot see. My beloved child, you have learned that loneliness does not mean you are abandoned. Yet I know another question rises when you come close to me and hear no answer. You pray and wait. The room stays quiet and your heart begins to wonder whether I am still near. I am near. My silence has never meant my absence. You have mistaken quiet for distance because human silence has often hurt you. Someone stopped calling. Someone withdrew affection. Someone used silence to punish, control, or reject you. So when heaven feels quiet, old pain tells you that I must be doing the same. I am not like those who left you guessing. I do not disappear to make you afraid. I do not withhold my presence to make you beg for love. I do not turn away when your prayer is imperfect. Even when you cannot hear me, I am attentive to every word and tear. My beloved child, not all of my work makes noise. A builder may spend days strengthening a foundation while nothing beautiful appears above the ground, yet the hidden structure is what will keep the house standing when the weather changes. I often work that way in your life. You ask me to change the visible situation, while I begin by strengthening what must carry the answer. You ask for a new opportunity, and I deepen your patience. You ask for restoration, and I reveal patterns that must be healed. You ask for direction, and I teach you to recognize peace before movement. The delay may feel unrelated to the prayer. It is not always unrelated. Remember when Lazarus was sick and the answer did not arrive when his family expected. The waiting looked like neglect. The silence felt unbearable. Yet the delay was not a lack of love. I was still present in the story, even when those who loved me could not understand my timing. You may not understand my timing now. That does not mean there is no purpose within it. My beloved child, I know how difficult it is to trust a process you cannot see. You want confirmation that something is moving. You want a conversation, a door, a change, or something that tells you what comes next. Instead, you receive another ordinary day. Do not despise the ordinary day. Some of the most important changes in you are happening while life appears unchanged. Your reactions are becoming calmer. Your need for approval is weakening. You are recognizing what once deceived you. You are learning to pause before fear decides for you. These are answers too. You may have asked me to remove a problem while I am making you stronger than the problem. You may have asked me to silence every enemy while I am teaching you that their voices no longer define you. You may have asked for immediate escape while I am building endurance that will serve you for years. My silence can hold instruction. Sometimes you fill every quiet moment with questions, plans, and repeated requests. I welcome your words, but there are things you can only receive when you stop speaking long enough to listen. Sit with me without demanding an immediate explanation. Let the silence be a room, not a wall. At first, you may hear only your own thoughts. You may notice anger, disappointment, or fear that constant activity kept hidden. Do not run. Let those feelings come into the light. I am not threatened by them. Say, Father, I am disappointed. Say, I thought you would answer differently. Say, I am tired of waiting. Honesty does not weaken faith. It makes relationship real. My beloved child, faith is not pretending that silence feels easy. Faith is choosing not to rewrite my character because the answer is delayed. It is remembering what you know about me when you cannot understand what I am doing. Look back carefully. There were seasons when you thought nothing was happening, yet later you saw protection. A door stayed closed, and much later you understood why. A person left, and after the grief you saw what their presence had been costing you. A plan failed, and another path slowly became possible. Hindsight revealed what silence concealed. Let past faithfulness help you trust present quiet. Do not force an answer, because waiting feels uncomfortable. Fear may tempt you to return to what I helped you leave. Loneliness may tempt you to contact someone who repeatedly harmed your peace. Pressure may tempt you to accept an opportunity that does not align with truth. Silence is not permission to abandon wisdom. Wait without becoming passive. Continue doing what is clear. Care for your responsibilities. Keep your word. Rest your body. Seek wise counsel. Prepare what can be prepared. You do not need a new revelation to obey the truth already before you. My beloved child, a compass remains useful even when the landscape is unfamiliar. In the same way, my character can guide you when details are unclear. I am good. I am patient. I do not lead through confusion that demands compromise. I do not ask you to betray truth in order to reach what I promised. Let peace help you recognize the road. Peace does not always mean ease. Sometimes the right choice is difficult, but beneath the difficulty, there is a steadiness that panic cannot produce. Learn that difference. You may also be waiting for me to speak in the way I spoke before. A song once reached you. A certain prayer once brought clarity. A familiar routine once helped you feel close. Now those same things feel quiet. Do not assume I have stopped speaking. I may be teaching you a new way to listen. I may speak through wise correction, a repeated conviction, a closed door, a growing discomfort with an old pattern, or a desire to serve that will not leave you. I may speak through rest when you expected urgency. Stay attentive. My beloved child, do not measure my nearness by emotional intensity. Love can be present in stillness. A parent sitting beside a sleeping child says nothing yet remains watchful. In the same way, I can be quiet and completely involved. You are not forgotten in the waiting. Your prayer has not fallen into an empty room. Your tears have not disappeared. I am working in hearts you cannot reach, circumstances you cannot arrange, and places you cannot enter. I am also working within you, preparing you to receive without losing yourself, and to move without returning to fear. Trust what is hidden. One day, some of this silence will make sense. Other parts may remain mysterious. Yet, understanding is not the only path to peace. You can rest because you know me even when you do not know the reason. Remain close, and as you sit with me, in the quiet, deeper memories may begin to rise. The silence may uncover the younger part of you that learned to fear being ignored, rejected, or left behind. In the next part of this journey, I will meet that wounded child within you and begin healing the beliefs that have followed you for years. My beloved child, as the silence uncovers deeper memories, I want you to know that I am not bringing them back to punish you. I am bringing them into the light because what remains hidden often continues to shape your life. There is a younger part of you that still remembers. I see that child. I see the child who waited for affection that rarely came. I see the child who learned to read the room before speaking because anger could arrive without warning. I see the child who worked hard for praise, behaved carefully to avoid rejection, and wondered why love felt easier for everyone else. My beloved child, none of that was invisible to me. You may have been told to forget it, move on, or stop being sensitive. Their pain may explain their behavior. It does not erase your pain. You learned lessons from those early years, but many were not truth. You learned that love had to be earned. You learned that mistakes made you difficult to love. You learned that being quiet kept you safe. You learned that other people's needs mattered more than your own. Those beliefs followed you into adulthood. They shaped the relationships you chose, the boundaries you avoided, and the way you responded when someone seemed disappointed. A simple change in another person's tone could make your heart race. A delayed message could feel like rejection. A small mistake could awaken the old fear that you would be abandoned. My beloved child, your reaction was never only about the present. The child within you was trying to protect you with the tools available then. Hypervigilance helped you survive unpredictable rooms. People-pleasing helped you avoid conflict. Emotional distance helped you avoid disappointment. Perfectionism helped you search for the safety that love should have given freely. Do not hate yourself for developing those protections. Thank the younger part of you for surviving. Then let me teach you that survival is not the only way to live now. Remember how I welcomed children when others tried to move them away. I did not treat them as interruptions. I brought them close. I blessed them. I showed that small hearts mattered to me. I am bringing your younger heart close now with patient love. You do not have to prove anything. You do not have to explain why it still hurts. You do not have to compare your childhood with someone who suffered differently. Tell me what you needed. Maybe you needed someone to say, "I am proud of you." Maybe you needed protection, comfort, patience, or a home where your body could relax. Maybe you needed a parent to ask what you felt instead of telling you what you should feel. I am not asking you to return to the past and live there. I am asking you to stop pretending the past has no voice in the present. Healing begins when you can look at what happened without allowing shame to silence you. My beloved child, hear what I am speaking over you now. You were not too much. You were not difficult to love. You were not responsible for keeping the adults around you emotionally stable. You did not deserve neglect, humiliation, cruelty, or fear. You were a child who needed care. Let those words reach the place that still believes everything was your fault. Children often blame themselves because believing they caused the problem feels less frightening than admitting the adults who should have protected them were unable or unwilling to do so. You carried responsibility that never belonged on your shoulders. Set it down. I was present in ways you could not recognize then. I preserved tenderness in you. I placed safe people along your path, even if they appeared only for a season. I kept something alive within you that refused to become exactly like what hurt you. That refusal is evidence of grace. Yet I do not want you merely to survive the memory. I want to heal the beliefs formed by it. When you feel rejected, now pause and ask, what age does this pain feel? When fear rises, suddenly ask whether the present is truly unsafe or whether an old alarm is sounding. Speak gently to yourself. Say, I am not trapped in that room anymore. I have choices now. I can leave. I can ask for help. I can say no. I can tell the truth. I can choose people who treat my heart with care. These words help your body learn what your spirit is beginning to understand. My beloved child, healing may require support from wise people. A trusted counselor, pastor, mentor, or mature friend can help you name patterns and practice healthier responses. Receiving help is not weakness. It is one way you stop carrying alone what was formed in relationship. Choose support carefully. Look for people who listen without rushing, respect your boundaries, and do not use spiritual language to minimize harm. Truth and compassion belong together. You should never be pressured to forgive quickly, reconcile unsafely, or silence your pain to protect someone else's reputation. I am patient with your healing. Some memories may return in layers. You may believe you have moved forward, then feel grief again at a new stage of life. Becoming a parent may reveal what you missed. Entering a healthy relationship may show you how unfamiliar safety feels. A kind word may unexpectedly awaken sadness. Do not call that failure. It may be another layer becoming ready for care. My beloved child, forgiveness may become part of this journey, but forgiveness does not require denial. You can release a parent and still acknowledge what happened. You can pray for someone and still maintain distance. You can understand their brokenness without making it your responsibility to repair them. Let me carry justice. Let me carry the questions that may never receive satisfying answers. Your task is to become free. Freedom means the voice from your childhood no longer decides your worth. It means another person's mood no longer controls your peace. It means you can receive love without waiting for it to disappear. It means you stop choosing familiar pain simply because healthy love feels strange. You are learning safety. You are learning to rest. You are learning that love can remain after honesty. My beloved child, I delight in you. Not in the person you might become after perfect healing, but in you now. I see the courage it takes to face what you once buried. I see the strength required to choose gentleness after growing up around harshness. Let me continue this work. Hold the younger part of your story with compassion. Stop speaking to yourself in the voice of those who wounded you. Borrow my voice instead. Patient, firm, tender, honest. Say I am worthy of care. Say my needs are not a burden. Say I can heal without becoming hard. And as healing reaches deeper roots, you will begin to notice patterns that did not start with you. Reactions, fears, and ways of relating may have traveled through your family for generations. In the next part of this journey, I will show you how pain taught those patterns and how, with my help, they can finally end with you. My beloved child, as healing reaches the younger places within you, you are beginning to see that some pain did not begin with you. Certain fears, habits, and ways of responding were already present in your family before you had words for them. You learned them by watching, adapting, and surviving. Now you can choose differently. I see the patterns that have traveled through generations. I see families where anger was louder than affection. I see homes where problems were hidden instead of discussed. I see people who worked constantly because rest felt unsafe. I see parents who loved their children but did not know how to express tenderness because no one had shown tenderness to them. My beloved child, understanding where a pattern came from does not mean you must continue it. You may have grown up hearing that feelings should be ignored, so now you struggle to name what is happening inside you. You may have watched adults avoid conflict until resentment exploded, so now you either fear every disagreement or react before anyone can hurt you. But repetition does not turn a wound into truth. Some families pass down recipes, stories, and traditions. Others also pass down silence, fear, addiction, control, shame, or the inability to apologize. These things can move from one generation to the next, like an old coat that everyone wears without asking whether it still fits. Remember Gideon. He looked at his family history, his weakness, and his place in the household, and he believed he was the least likely person to be used. Yet I called him by what I was forming, not by what his family had been. My beloved child, you are not dishonoring your family by becoming healthier. You are not betraying them by refusing to repeat what caused pain. You can love people and still reject the patterns they normalized. You can understand their wounds without making those wounds your future. Breaking a pattern begins with noticing it. Pay attention to what happens when you feel threatened. Do you become silent and distant? Do you raise your voice because calm conversation feels powerless? Do you apologize for needs that are reasonable? Do you chase people who withdraw because distance awakens an old fear? Say, Father, this is what I learned. Show me another way. Change often begins in the small space between a trigger and your response. In that space, you can pause, you can breathe. You can ask whether the present moment is truly dangerous or whether an old pattern has taken control. My beloved child, the pause is powerful. You do not have to answer every harsh word immediately. You do not have to make a decision while your body is filled with panic. You do not have to repeat the reaction you watched growing up. You can step away, pray, return, and speak with clarity. A new pattern may feel unnatural at first. Peace may feel suspicious if chaos was familiar. A respectful relationship may feel boring if you learn to associate intensity with love. Receiving help may feel uncomfortable if your family celebrated carrying everything alone. Let me teach your heart what health feels like. Healthy love allows honesty. Healthy love respects boundaries. Healthy love can survive a disagreement without threatening abandonment. Healthy love apologizes and changes behavior. Healthy love does not require you to become smaller so another person can remain comfortable. My beloved child, you may be the first person in your family to practice these things consistently. People may accuse you of changing. They may call your boundaries disrespectful. They may prefer the version of you who stayed quiet, fixed every problem, or accepted behavior that hurt you. Your growth can expose what others are not ready to face. Speak with respect. Remain humble. Admit your own mistakes, but do not surrender truth merely to keep an unhealthy peace. Avoidance keeps everything quiet while pain grows underneath. Real peace brings truth into the room with patience and love. It may feel uncomfortable, but it creates the possibility of something healthier. My beloved child, breaking family patterns also means learning to repair. You will not respond perfectly every time. You may raise your voice, withdraw, or fall into an old habit. The difference is that you no longer have to defend it. You can return and say, "I was wrong. I am sorry. Let me try again." That repair shows children that mistakes do not have to become secrets. It shows them that authority can be humble. It teaches them that love can remain while behavior changes. You may also need to change the way you speak about yourself. If your family used criticism as motivation, you may now believe harshness is the only way to grow. You call yourself lazy, foolish, weak, or impossible when you make a mistake. It is inherited shame. I correct you without destroying you. I show you truth without removing your dignity. Learn to speak to yourself in the same way, firmly, honestly, and with mercy. My beloved child, you are not responsible for healing every person in your family. You cannot force insight. You cannot make someone apologize. You cannot carry relatives who refuse help. Breaking the cycle does not mean rescuing everyone. It means refusing to let their choices determine your own. Continue the work within your own life. There may be grief in becoming different. You may realize how much you needed and did not receive. You may mourn the family you wished you had. Let that grief come. Healing is not pretending the loss did not matter. I will meet you there. I can build something new through you. A home where people speak honestly. A marriage where respect does not disappear during conflict. A family where children are heard, affection is expressed. Rest is allowed, and mistakes are repaired. The new pattern may begin quietly. It may begin when you lower your voice, when you keep a promise, when you ask a child how they feel and wait for the answer, when you refuse gossip, when you choose counseling instead of denial, when you stop using money, silence, or anger to control. These choices may seem small, but they change what the next generation receives. My beloved child, you may never see the full reach of your healing. Someone after you may grow up feeling safe because you chose courage today. A future relationship may become healthier because you learned to tell the truth with love. A child may learn that love does not have to hurt because you refuse to repeat what hurt you. This is sacred work. Be patient with yourself while you learn. Celebrate every healthier response. Return to me after every setback. You are not only leaving old patterns, you are creating a new inheritance. And as you become more aware of your own path, another temptation may rise. You may look at families, relationships, and lives that appear healthier than yours and wonder why your journey has been so difficult. In the next part of this journey, I will teach you to stop measuring your life against someone else's and recognize the purpose within your own. My beloved child, as you begin creating a healthier inheritance, you may look around and wonder why your path has required so much healing. You see people who appear to have stable families, easier relationships, clearer purpose, and fewer wounds. Comparison enters quietly. It may begin with a photograph, a celebration, or a simple conversation. Someone announces a promotion, engagement, new home, or answered prayer. You are glad for them, but something inside you tightens. Their joy seems to shine a light on what you still lack. My beloved child, do not shame yourself for noticing that pain. Envy often points toward a longing that has not been spoken honestly. You may not truly want another person's life. You may want security, affection, progress, recognition, or the assurance that your own waiting is not meaningless. Bring that longing to me. Do not hide it beneath polite words while resentment grows underneath. Say, "Father, I am grateful for them, but this hurts." Say, "I am tired of feeling behind." Say, "I do not understand why their road seems easier than mine." Honesty gives me room to meet you. Comparison, however, gives another person's story authority over your peace. It asks you to measure your private reality against what they chose to reveal. You see the photograph, but not the argument before it. You see the achievement, but not the failures, debts, doubts, and long nights behind it. You are comparing your entire landscape with one window into theirs. Remember Peter asking about the future of another disciple. My answer brought his attention back to his own path. What I asked of someone else was not Peter's assignment. In the same way, another person's timing is not an instruction for you. Follow me in your lane. My beloved child, I did not create human lives like identical clocks that must strike each milestone at the same hour. One person marries young, another finds love after years of growth, one discovers a calling early. Another builds wisdom through several careers before understanding where they belong. Different does not mean delayed. Your path has been shaped around what I am forming in you and through you. Some lessons needed time. Some doors stayed closed because you were being protected. Some detours developed compassion, patience, and discernment that a straighter road might never have produced. Do not call preparation wasted time. You may look at someone else's harvest and forget that you are seeing a different season. Their field may be producing fruit while yours is being cleared, planted, or strengthened beneath the soil. You would never accuse winter of failure because it does not look like summer. Honor the season you are in. My beloved child, comparison does more than steal gratitude. It can cause you to abandon what fits you. You begin copying another person's schedule-style relationship or definition of success. You force yourself into a life that looks impressive but does not carry peace. I did not ask you to become a copy. A violin and a drum do not need to produce the same sound to belong in the same song. Their beauty comes from responding according to how they were made. In the same way, your gifts, temperament, history, and calling create a sound that is yours to offer. Stop criticizing your design because it differs from someone you admire. Learn from others without disappearing inside their example. Receive wisdom without surrendering your identity. Let inspiration expand your courage, not become a weapon against your worth. My beloved child, social media can make this battle stronger. You scroll through selected moments and begin believing everyone else is constantly progressing. You see vacations while sitting at work. You see celebrations while carrying grief. You see polished homes while standing in the middle of your unfinished life. Remember that a screen cannot show the whole heart. Limit what repeatedly makes you despise your own life. You do not need to follow every person who awakens unhealthy comparison. Protecting your peace is not bitterness, it is wisdom. Then turn your attention toward what is actually present. Notice the people who love you in ordinary ways. Notice the meal before you, the breath in your lungs, the lesson you learned, the strength that returned, and the door that opened quietly. Gratitude trains your eyes to see value that comparison ignores. Each morning, name what is good before listing what is missing. Thank me for one person, one provision, one ability, one opportunity, and one sign of growth. Do not wait until your life feels complete before practicing gratitude. Gratitude does not deny desire. You can be thankful and still hope for more. You can appreciate today while praying for change. Gratitude simply refuses to let what is absent erase what is already here. My beloved child, celebrate others without turning their blessing into a verdict against you. Their promotion does not mean there is less purpose available for you. Their marriage does not prove you are forgotten. Their success does not reduce the value of your beginning. My abundance is not limited. When someone receives something good, let it remind you that good things are possible. Bless them. Ask about the work behind their progress. Learn if wisdom is available. Then return to your own assignment without carrying their timeline home. There will also be people who compare themselves with you. Do not build your identity on being ahead of them. Pride and insecurity grow from the same habit of measuring. One says, I am less than them. The other says, I am greater than them. Both keep your eyes fixed on people instead of purpose. Choose humility. You are not above anyone because one area of your life is flourishing. You are not beneath anyone because another area is unfinished. Every person carries strengths, needs victories, and hidden battles. My beloved child, measure your growth differently. Ask whether you are more honest than before. Ask whether you recover from disappointment with greater wisdom. Ask whether your boundaries are healthier, your words kinder, and your decisions more aligned with truth. Ask whether you are learning to stay present instead of constantly escaping your own life. A life can look ordinary and still be deeply faithful. A person can have little public recognition and still transform a family through patience, integrity, and love. Do not let the world's narrow scoreboard make you overlook sacred progress. Return to me when comparison rises. Say, Father, bless them and guide me. Remind me what belongs to my path. Help me notice the grace already growing here. then take one faithful step within your own life. My beloved child, your journey does not need to resemble anyone else's to have meaning. You are not late to the life I am leading you through. You are not overlooked because someone else is being celebrated. Keep your eyes on me. And when comparison has convinced you that you should have achieved more by now, shame may whisper that you have disappointed everyone, including me. In the next part of this journey, I will speak directly to that fear and show you why you are not a disappointment to your father. My beloved child, comparison has been whispering that you should be further ahead by now. It points to the years that passed, the goals you did not reach, and the version of yourself you expected to become. Then shame adds another sentence. You have disappointed everyone, including me. Listen carefully. You are not a disappointment to me. I know that may be difficult to believe because human disappointment has left deep marks on you. You remember the look on a parent's face when you did not meet an expectation. You remember the silence after you made a mistake. You remember feeling that affection became colder whenever your performance was not enough. So you imagined my face the same way. My beloved child, I am not standing over you with crossed arms waiting to remind you of every failure. I am not comparing your real life with an imaginary perfect life and holding the difference against you. I see the whole story, including the parts no one else understood. I know how hard some days were. I know the battles you fought quietly. I know how much energy it took to get out of bed, answer the call, care for your family, or try again after disappointment. People may have measured only the visible result. I also saw the courage required to continue. Do not confuse an unfinished life with a failed life. A house under construction may look messy. There are exposed walls, scattered tools, dust, and rooms that cannot yet be used. Yet the mess is not proof that the builder abandoned the project. It is evidence that work is still happening. You are still being built. You remain held while my work continues inside. My beloved child, I do not expect fruit from a branch in every season. There are times for growth, pruning, waiting, healing, and rest. You may judge yourself because this season does not look productive. I may be doing a deeper work that cannot be measured by visible achievement. Perhaps you are learning to tell the truth. Perhaps you are finally setting a boundary. Perhaps you are recovering from years of carrying what was never yours. These are not small victories. Remember the son who left home with pride and returned with nothing. He prepared a speech because he expected rejection. Yet the father saw him from far away and ran toward him. The father did not begin with humiliation. He began with embrace. That story reveals my heart. When you turn toward me, I do not meet you with disgust. I meet you with mercy. I am not shocked by where you have been. I am not surprised by what you lost. I already know the complete truth, and still I call you my beloved child. You may say, but I knew better. Yes, there were moments when you ignored wisdom. There were choices that created pain. Grace does not deny responsibility. It gives you the strength to face the truth without believing the truth makes you unworthy of love. Conviction says this needs to change. Shame says you can never change. Learn the difference. My voice may correct you, but it will not crush your identity. I will show you what is wrong while reminding you that you are still mine. I will lead you toward repair, apology, discipline, and wiser choices. I will not tell you that one chapter has made redemption impossible. My beloved child, release the burden of who you thought you would be by now. You had a timeline. By a certain age, you expected the career, the marriage, the home, the stability, or the confidence to be settled. Life did not follow the schedule. Illness interrupted. A relationship ended. Money became difficult. Responsibilities arrived. Grief changed you. You call the difference failure. I call it a life that still carries purpose. The path may have curved, but I have not lost you. Detours can develop strengths that straight roads never require. You have learned compassion because you know disappointment. You have learned discernment because you trusted the wrong voices. You have learned patience because quick answers did not come. Nothing surrendered to me is wasted. My beloved child, you may also carry the expectations of people who had a plan for your life. Perhaps they wanted a profession, a marriage, a certain income, or an image that made them feel successful through you. Their approval became a standard you kept chasing. You are not responsible for becoming another person's proof of success. Honor people where you can. Listen to wise counsel. But do not abandon the life I am forming merely to satisfy expectations rooted in fear, pride, or comparison. You can love your family without living as their project. I know the person I created you to become. That person is not defined only by public achievement. I care about the way you speak when frustrated. I care about how you treat people who cannot reward you. I care about your honesty, your humility, your willingness to repair harm, and your courage to keep learning. Character is not a consolation prize. It is part of the purpose. The world may applaud a person whose inner life is collapsing. It may ignore someone whose quiet faithfulness is holding a family together. Do not let applause become your measure. My beloved child, I am proud of the ways you have grown that no one celebrated. I saw when you did not return to the relationship that kept harming you. I saw when you apologized without defending yourself. I saw when you chose rest instead of proving your worth through exhaustion. I saw when you stayed kind even though pain tempted you to become hard. I saw you return after drifting. That matters to me. You do not have to bring me a perfect record. Bring me an honest heart. Bring me the parts that need repair. Bring me the dreams that feel delayed. Bring me the regret you keep replaying. Let me separate responsibility from condemnation. Where you caused harm, make what repair is possible. Where you failed, learn. Where you must begin again, begin. But stop punishing yourself as though suffering longer will make the past more holy. It will not. Receive forgiveness. Speak to yourself as someone I am restoring, not someone I have rejected. Say I made mistakes, but I am not beyond grace. Say my timeline changed, but my purpose remains. Say I am still learning, and God has not finished with me. My beloved child, look at me. You are not standing before a disappointed father. You are standing before the one who sees your beginning, your present struggle, and the person you are still becoming. I know what remains unfinished, and I have not walked away. Take another step without shame. Let love, not fear, become the reason you change. And now that you no longer have to prove your worth through constant achievement, I want to speak to the exhaustion beneath your striving. In the next part of this journey, I will teach you why rest is not failure, and why your soul must breathe before the weight becomes too heavy. My beloved child, now that you know, my love is not earned through achievement. Notice how tired you have become. You have carried responsibilities, expectations, unfinished conversations, and fears about tomorrow until exhaustion began to feel normal. You keep moving because stopping feels dangerous. You tell yourself that one more task, person, or problem must be handled before you can rest. But the list keeps growing and rest keeps moving further away. My beloved child, you were not created to live as a machine. Your body and mind have limits. Your emotions need space to recover. These limits are not weakness. They are part of the wisdom with which I formed you. A lamp must be refilled to keep giving light. You have treated exhaustion like a badge. The world praises people who are always available, productive, and moving. It celebrates full calendars and tired eyes as though weariness proves importance. You learned that slowing down means falling behind, but constant movement is not the same as faithful living. Sometimes the most obedient thing you can do is stop. Remember how I led Elijah after he collapsed beneath fear and exhaustion. I did not begin by giving him another assignment. I gave him rest, food, and care. Only after his body had been strengthened did I speak about what came next. I care about your whole being. My beloved child, some problems feel larger because you are tired. A conversation that would normally require patience feels unbearable. A small disappointment feels like proof that everything is failing. Your thoughts become darker because your inner resources are empty. Rest will not solve every problem, but exhaustion can make every problem harder to see clearly. Before making a major decision, ask whether you are tired. Before ending a relationship, abandoning an assignment, or condemning yourself, sleep. Eat. Step away from the noise. Give your body enough safety to think again. You do not have to decide your entire future tonight. Let this moment be smaller. Feel where your body is holding tension. Your shoulders may be raised, your hands may be clenched, your jaw may be tight. Release them slowly. Take a breath. You are allowed to be here without solving anything for a moment. My beloved child, rest is not only sleep. You can sleep for many hours and wake with the same heavy soul if your mind spent the night carrying tomorrow. Deeper rest begins when you stop trying to control outcomes that belong in my hands. You have been resting your body while your thoughts continue working. You rehearse difficult conversations. You calculate every possible expense. You imagine what people might say. You build responses to situations that have not happened. Your body lies still, but your mind remains on watch. Give me the night shift. I do not sleep. I do not lose attention. I do not need you to stay awake in order to keep your family, future, or responsibilities from falling apart. Place what you cannot finish at my feet and allow the day to end. Say, Father, I have done what I could today. Say, what remains is safe in your hands. Then let the unfinished work remain unfinished until morning. My beloved child, you may feel guilty when you rest because you learned that your worth comes from usefulness. You fear that if you stop doing, people may stop needing you. And if they stop needing you, you wonder whether they will still love you. This is a painful way to live. Love that depends entirely on your usefulness is not the kind of love I want to teach you. You are worthy of care when you are productive and when you are tired. You are mine when you are serving and when you are sitting quietly. You do not become less valuable when you need help. Let someone else carry something. Accept the meal. Answer honestly when a trusted person asks how you are. Delegate what does not require your hands. Ask your family to share responsibility. Receiving support does not make you a burden. It makes room for relationship. You were never meant to carry every load alone. My beloved child, learn the difference between rest and escape. Rest restores clarity. Escape avoids what must eventually be faced. Endless scrolling, impulsive spending, overeating, or constant entertainment may numb you briefly, but often leaves you more depleted. Choose what truly restores. Walk without rushing. Sit in sunlight. Listen to music that calms rather than agitates. Prepare something simple to eat. Spend time with a person around whom you do not have to perform. Let quiet become medicine. Return to simple things. Your soul does not always need another answer. Sometimes it needs space. My beloved child, rest also requires boundaries. You cannot recover while giving everyone unlimited access to your time. You cannot protect peace if every request becomes an obligation. Not every emergency belongs to you. You are allowed to say, I cannot do that today. You are allowed to wait before responding. You are allowed to disappoint an unreasonable expectation in order to protect a necessary rhythm. Even my son stepped away from crowds to pray. There were always more people who wanted healing, teaching, attention, and answers. Yet he did not allow every demand to control every moment. Withdrawal can be wise when it leads you back to me. You may fear everything will collapse if you step away. That fear reveals how much responsibility you have claimed. My beloved child, you are important, but help can come through others. Trust me to work while you rest. The field does not produce fruit because the farmer stares at it through the night. Growth continues in darkness. Seeds open, roots deepen, and morning arrives without human effort. Let that image teach you. There is work I do while you are still. There are hearts I can reach without your intervention. There are answers I can prepare while your mind is quiet. There are problems that may look different after your body has recovered. Do not worship urgency. My beloved child, create a rhythm instead of waiting for collapse. Rest before your body forces you to stop. Protect time for silence, sleep, prayer, relationships, and healthy joy. Do not wait until you are empty to seek renewal. Small pauses can prevent deep exhaustion. A few quiet breaths between tasks. A meal without a screen, an evening without work, a day where productivity is not the goal. These moments remind your nervous system that life is more than survival. I want you alive, not merely functioning. I want you present enough to notice love, beauty, laughter, and grace. I want you to serve from fullness rather than resentment. I want your yes to come from willingness, not fear. Rest, my beloved child. Nothing sacred is lost when you breathe. And as you become still, you may see the pain beneath your exhaustion. Some striving has been an attempt to outrun grief, disappointment, and unanswered questions. In the next part of this journey, I will show you how suffering can become a testimony and how I can restore the trust that pain once damaged. My beloved child, now that you have slowed down enough to breathe, some pain you have outrun may begin to speak. Rest can uncover grief that busyness kept buried. When the noise fades, you may remember the loss, betrayal, illness, failure, or unanswered prayer. I am not afraid of those memories. Bring them closer. You do not have to call suffering good in order to believe I can use it. I am not asking you to celebrate what wounded you. Some losses were devastating. Some prayers seemed to meet an answer you never wanted. My beloved child, I will not minimize your pain. I saw the night when you cried quietly because others needed you to remain strong. I saw the moment the news arrived and life divided into before and after. I saw when you continued functioning while something inside you felt broken. Your suffering was real, but it will not be wasted. Think of a piece of cloth placed beneath the hands of a skilled weaver. From underneath, the threads can look tangled, crossed, and without order. You see knots, loose ends, and colors that do not appear to belong together. Yet from above, a pattern is slowly being formed. I see the whole design. This does not mean every painful event was sent by me. You live in a world where people make harmful choices. Bodies become weak and loss touches innocent lives. But nothing surrendered to me remains beyond redemption. I can bring meaning from what had none. I can grow compassion where cruelty tried to create hardness. I can form wisdom where confusion once ruled. I can turn a wound into a doorway through which another hurting person discovers they are not alone. My beloved child, remember Joseph again. The pit was not good. The betrayal was not good. The years of injustice were not good. Yet I remained present through every chapter, and what was meant to destroy him became part of how many lives were preserved. The pain did not become righteous. My redemption became greater than it. You may not yet know how your story will help anyone. You may still be learning how to stand. Do not pressure yourself to turn fresh pain into a public lesson. A wound needs care before it can become a testimony. Let healing come first. A testimony is not a polished story where every question has been answered. It is an honest witness that says, I went through something difficult and God did not abandon me. It may still contain tears. It may still include mystery. Truth does not become weaker because your voice trembles. Your honesty may become someone else's permission to keep living. The person facing divorce may need to hear how you survived the loneliness. The parent carrying fear may need to hear how you learned to release control. The person ashamed of failure may need to see that beginning again is possible. What nearly silenced you may one day give your voice depth. Do not hide every scar. You do not have to reveal your story to everyone. Wisdom chooses the right time, place, and person, but do not believe the parts of your life that hurt most have made you useless. Scars show that a wound existed and that healing also came. Some of your deepest trust was damaged through suffering. You prayed sincerely and the person still died. You asked for protection, but harm still occurred. You believed a relationship would be restored, and it ended. You expected me to intervene in one way, and I did not. A wall formed inside you. You still speak to me, but carefully. You still worship, but part of your heart remains guarded. You fear that trusting me will make disappointment hurt more deeply. My beloved child, I understand why the wall is there. I am not angry with you. I will not force my way through it. I will stand near it with patience. I will speak truth. I will wait while you decide whether to open the door. You may ask, how can I trust you after what happened? Begin by telling me what happened to your trust. Say, Father, I felt abandoned. Say, I believed you would stop it. Say, I do not know how to reconcile your love with what I endured. These are not forbidden words. Relationship cannot heal where honesty is not allowed. Bring me your questions without pretending they are accusations too dangerous to speak. I already know them. My beloved child, trust is not the belief that I will prevent every painful event. It is the confidence that no pain will make me leave you, stop loving you, or abandon the work of redemption. I never promised that storms would not come. I promised presence within them. Consider the men walking toward Emmaus after hope seemed buried. They spoke about disappointment without recognizing that I was walking beside them. Their understanding was incomplete, but my presence was already near. You may fail to recognize me while grief is speaking. That does not mean I am absent. Look for the ways I have sustained you. The friend who arrived at the right moment. The strength that appeared when you thought you had none. The meal message opportunity or quiet peace that carried you through another day. These things do not erase the loss. They reveal that love remained inside it. My beloved child, rebuilding trust takes time. Do not demand from yourself an instant return to confidence. Trust may begin with a small prayer. It may sound like, Father, I do not understand you, but I am willing to stay. That willingness is precious. Stay long enough for me to show you that I am not the people who misrepresented me. Some of you were hurt by leaders, communities, or family members who used my name while acting without love. Their behavior may have distorted my face in your mind. Do not mistake their failure for my character. I am not manipulation. I am not humiliation. I am not fear used to control you. I am truth joined with mercy, holiness joined with compassion, and authority joined with love. Let me introduce myself again. Read the way my son approached the wounded, the ashamed, and the rejected. Notice his patience with questions. Notice his anger toward hypocrisy and his tenderness toward those carrying heavy burdens. That is the heart I want you to know. My beloved child, let your suffering become soil, not a prison. Let it grow compassion, discernment, courage, and gentleness. Let it teach you how to sit beside another person without rushing their grief. One day you may look back and see that the chapter you wanted removed became the place where your love became deeper. Until then, remain honest. Remain open. Let me restore trust slowly. And as healing turns pain into wisdom, I will invite you into the final movement of this journey. In the next part, I will show you how to live healed without becoming proud, how to walk humbly, receive ordinary joy, forgive deeply, and keep your eyes fixed on the home I am preparing for you. My beloved child, you have allowed me to meet you in pain, restore trust, and turn what once wounded you into wisdom. Now I want to show you how to carry that healing forward. Healing is not only what happens inside you, it becomes the way you walk, speak, serve, forgive, and hope. Live healed. That does not mean you will never feel pain again. It means pain no longer decides who you are. An old wound may ache without controlling your next choice. You can remember what happened without returning to the person you had to become in order to survive it. My beloved child, do not turn your healing into pride. Growth can quietly become another form of comparison. You may look at people who are still struggling and wonder why they cannot change as quickly as you did. You may forget how patient I was with you. You may speak truth without tenderness because you no longer remember how fragile your heart once felt. Walk humbly. Remember the man who prayed by listing everything he had done right while another man could barely lift his eyes. The one who looked impressive was full of himself. The one who came honestly found mercy. Let that story keep your heart soft. Everything good in you has been touched by grace. Your discipline matters. Your decisions matter. Your willingness matters. But none of those things give you permission to look down on someone who is still learning. You did not heal yourself alone. You were carried, corrected, comforted, and given strength you did not create. So serve quietly. Help without needing everyone to know. Give without turning generosity into a performance. Pray without using prayer to prove that you are spiritual. Let your life become more interested in loving people than impressing them. My beloved child, humility is not making yourself small. It is no longer needing to be the center. You can speak with confidence while remaining teachable. A humble heart is strong enough to admit I was wrong. It is secure enough to say I still have more to learn. Keep that heart, and while you walk humbly, do not forget joy. You have spent so much time waiting for the next problem that you sometimes miss the goodness already present. But life is happening now. My beloved child, joy is not the reward at the end of a perfect story. It is a gift hidden inside ordinary moments. It may arrive through warm light across the floor, a familiar voice, a shared meal, a quiet drive, or laughter that surprises you after a heavy week. Do not rush past these gifts. Receive them. Joy does not betray your grief. You can be healing and still notice beauty. Sadness and gratitude can sit in the same heart. Let them. Remember how I provided bread in the wilderness one day at a time. The people wanted certainty for the future, but I placed provision before them in the present. In the same way, there is grace for today that you may miss while searching for tomorrow. Notice what has been placed near you. My beloved child, healed living also changes the way you hold the people who hurt you. You have learned to forgive without surrendering wisdom. Now I invite you into something deeper. Pray for them. I know that may feel difficult. You may hear their name and feel the old wound tighten. Begin honestly. Do not pray false words. Say, Father, you know what they did. You know what it cost me. I release them into your hands. Heal what is broken in them so they do not keep spreading pain. This prayer does not remove consequences. It removes poison from your heart. You cannot control whether they change. You can choose whether hatred continues living inside you. The goal is not to erase the story. The goal is to stop letting the story own you. My beloved child, keep your boundaries. Forgiveness does not require returning to danger. Prayer does not require renewed access. You can ask me to bless, correct, and heal someone while remaining at a distance that protects peace. Love and wisdom can walk together. As you practice this, your life will begin to feel lighter. You will have more room for gratitude, service, creativity, and connection. Energy once spent rehearsing old pain can become strength for what is before you. Use that strength well. Encourage the person who is tired. Sit with the one who is grieving. Share what you have learned without pretending you have every answer. Let your testimony sound like an invitation, not a performance. Say, I was wounded and grace met me. Say, I was afraid and I learned to trust one step at a time. Say, I was lost in comparison and I found peace in my own path. Your honesty can become a lamp. My beloved child, while you build a meaningful life here, remember that this world is not your final home. You feel this sometimes as a longing you cannot explain. Even beautiful moments seem to point beyond themselves. Deep connection, breathtaking beauty, and unexpected peace feel like windows into something more complete. That longing is not emptiness. It is homesickness for eternity. Do not try to fill it with possessions, achievement, attention, or constant activity. Created things can carry beauty, but they cannot become your final home. Let every good gift point you back to the giver. There is more ahead than you can see. This life matters deeply, but it is not the entire story. Every act of love, every faithful choice, every tear surrendered to me is moving toward a day when sorrow will not have the final word. Keep your eyes there, not to escape your responsibilities, but to hold them with perspective. Temporary pain cannot define an eternal future. Human rejection cannot cancel your place with me. The ending I am preparing is not fragile. My beloved child, carry everything you have learned. Remember who you are in me. Keep planting. Give me your fear. Release control. Forgive wisely. Return before the noise reaches you. Trust me in dry seasons. Close old chapters. Use your gifts. Stand in truth. Take the next step. Stay rooted in love. Trust my silence. Heal the child within. Break harmful patterns. Stop comparing. Release shame. Rest. Let suffering become wisdom. Now live it. Walk gently. Serve faithfully. Laugh without guilt. Rest without fear. Love without losing yourself. Pray for those who hurt you. And when this life feels temporary, let that truth comfort you. You are known. You are being healed. You are not walking alone. My presence goes with you into every room, every conversation, every unknown season, and every quiet night. Rest now, my beloved child. Lay down what remains unfinished. I am still working. I am still watching over what concerns you. I am still guiding the steps you cannot yet see. Go forward with humility, joy, courage, and peace. Keep your heart open. Keep your hands willing. Keep your eyes on home. I have carried you this far, and I will not leave you before the story is complete.